Yo, what is going on, my dudes? It's your boy here, Daily Tactics, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of the Halo mod. We've been doing a lot of Star Wars Galaxy at War this week, so I thought it was time to switch it on up. So today we have the UNSC Marines holding this tight canyon pass here. They've set up fortifications all along these lines with tons of Marines all up in here ready to defend against the oncoming Covenant. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. They've got a little citadel back here that they're defending as well. That's sort of the main Covenant objective during this mission. And then further up, they have another one with even more UNSC Marines stationed here and like a little defensive perimeter right there. They've got a lot of troopers sort of spread out across the map. They've also got some dudes defending in the trees and in the rocks over here. So it is a very large battlefield with the UNSC Marines defending in multiple places. So it's not just the canyon, but that's sort of where the main action is going to take place. Then for the Covenant, they have quite the army here, full of jackals, grunts, elites, you name it, they've got it, and they are all going to be marching forward through these rocks to attack the UNSC Marines. They've also got a flanking force over here by the river that's going to be attacking on the right flank, hopefully cutting off the UNSC Marines at a little bit of a tough chokehold over here, and that'll help with the canyon. So we'll see how it goes. I thought this would be an interesting sort of a video to do. Be sure to hit the like button if you do end up enjoying it. I'd really like to know if you guys want to see more Halo mod, because it could be kind of a fun addition to the channel. Maybe I'll make Fridays like a Freaky Friday kind of thing. I could do like Modern Warfare mods, I could do Halo mods, I could do Warhammer 40k mod. I don't know, just a thought there, just to spice things up a little bit. So hit the like button if you enjoyed. Be sure to comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get it going. Alrighty then, friendos, let's go ahead and press start here, and the Covenant army begins to march on forward. They've sort of got elites and jackals in the front, grunts in the middle, and then jackals, elite again in the back, sort of having a little bit of organization to the army. We'll see if that helps in the slightest during that battle, but it looks like they're sort of splitting up into single fire groups, and they begin to fire out at the UNSC Marines off in the distance. The UNSC Marines begin to fire back, clapping back with bullets of their own. Not seeing too many losses in the lines right now, but the battle has just begun, so can't really start judging them now, though the Marines have started taking losses of their own. I think this little defensive box here could be a very good place for the Marines to hold out. They could end up getting a lot of kills right here, and that is what they need right now, because they are outnumbered by the attackers, so they need to play into their defensive position as much as possible. And it looks like they are getting quite a number of kills on a lot of jackals and elites who are trying to charge them right now, a few grunts here and there as well. So good on the Marines here for doing that. Also over here on the Citadel Defense, the guys up top on the ramparts firing downwards at the attacking enemy, getting a few kills here and there, but they're getting, I think, overwhelmed a little bit by the sheer size, whereas in this little box they've got a nice defensive area that they can work with, though these guys themselves are also sort of getting obliterated by the sheer size of the enemy, but I think they held out a little bit better than the other lads. There is no animation for grenade, so it just says grenade timer. You might have noticed that right there. It's kind of lame that they weren't able to add, an animation to that, but I think this mod was working with what they have. It's a really old mod, so it was probably running on an old Men of War engine and stuff like that, and in all likelihood, it was probably like a 1 or 2 man modding team, so you can't judge them for that. They did the best with what they had, and they made a pretty good mod. I actually really enjoy this mod, to be honest. UNSC Marine defense is over here falling, especially at the Citadel. There's just a few troopers laying up top there. Oh, there's a bunch over on this side over here. Okay. Oh, there's like a ton cowering in the corner. You guys are bringing dishonor to the family. What are you doing, Marines? Cowards! Cowards! Do you guys remember from Total War Shogun 2? This like super like stereotypical Japanese voice narrator would go like, "You have brought dishonor to the family! Shameful display!" But like all of the L's were like R pronounced, and like I don't know if it was a Japanese voice actor because it sounded so stereotyped and like so racist. But there's like all these videos of it online of people just like laughing their heads off at this like fake Japanese voice narrator. It's a really funny video clip if you've ever seen it, or just played the game. Ooh, the right flank over here has actually started to engage with the defensive canyon lines over here. Looks like the humans have taken a few losses, but they're clapping back at these Covenant forces pretty well. I mean, the Covenant has taken more losses than the humans have, so that's always sort of a good sign right there. I think the sort of mobile units who are able to retreat or advance or, you know, fill gaps in the lines is honestly helping the humans a ton. I'm seeing them, you know, react fluidly to the situations presented to them, which is definitely helpful in a battle type like this where the defense is so long and you need to have fluid units. So it's kind of good to see that they're actually working out in that manner, and it's not just, you know, guys running to their death like the AI sometimes does, although we have seen that a few times. We are also still having a coward's defense over here in the rock area. At least they're still firing. I mean, maybe it was a tactical retreat to the rock, but you know, it's kind of dishonorable. Come on, guys, save some face. Do a last-ditch assault. They're not going to do it. Well, we'll let them defend there. At least they're distracting the majority of the army, so that way the humans at the walls here sort of only have to deal with maybe a third of the Covenant army at one time, which is kind of playing to their advantage because the rest of the army over here, if they were to attack simultaneously with the other third, would probably crush those canyon walls. Either way, here's this little last stand defense over here. They're still firing out, but they're taking some pretty extreme losses. Sorry, it's hard to get an angle here. I'm trying to, but they're just in such a weird glitchy position. It's kind of tough. Yeah, they are getting into a bloody pulpy mess over here. Really only killing a few grunts from what I can see. That defense did not do as well as I'd hoped. I mean, I didn't have much hope for it in the first place, but you know, it ended up being even crummier than I thought it would be. So that's no bueno. No bueno at all. I really wish there were Spartans in this mod and stuff like that, and more units and tanks and whatnot, but sadly there are not. There is a Call to Arms Halo mod that I have been wanting to play for ages. Diplex Heated played it on his channel a long time ago, but he kind of stopped playing it for the longest time now. And it just looks so cool, and I really want to get my hands on it, but it's not available anywhere. So if anyone has a connection to the developer or knows a link where I can get that Call to Arms Halo mod, I would love to, because that would be some sweet content to make. Either way, up here the UNSC Marines are beginning to actually move up the hill a little bit and do almost a counter attack against the flanking Covenant forces here, which is kind of cool, you know? They're actually making progress. A lot of the units coming out of the woodwork and advancing forward. But they better be careful because the rest of the Covenant army is on their way very soon here, and these guys might get caught out in the open in a bit of a pincer movement, which could completely hurt them and crush their line. So, you know, got to be very, very careful in this instance. They're completely dislodged from their back defenses over here. And here comes the other Covenant army. Luckily, there are a few troopers still on the defenses, but all the free-roaming troopers are farther forward here, still trying to advance on these fellas over this way. So this could be a sticky situation right now if the Marines don't react the proper way. I'd honestly say just retreat back, you know, give up on this counterattack, retreat back, get back to your defenses over here, and help out against the brand new threat that's sort of coming your way. But you know, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to keep on pushing out. In fact, some troopers going as far out as the canyon over there. That's not great. Not a great choice. But, I mean, there's not too many troopers left over here for the Covenant, so I suppose that's a bonus for them. You know, they might be able to destroy these forces. Who knows, guys? Who knows? I guess we will in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this actually side-flanking army didn't end up doing all that much, I would say. I thought they were going to come through and sort of crush, but it seems like the humans did manage to sort of hold them off in this little choke point area. So the threat was sort of mitigated by these troopers on the defenses over here, though they are starting to mount a few more losses. So, yeah, it's unclear if they'll hold for much longer here. You know, all of these guys were alive at the start of this second attack, and now they are dead, so losses are mounting, and we can definitely see that. Maybe if the free roamers, like, went up this way, and then they could flank this little force over here and take them out. It would be possible, I feel like, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen. A few of them are rotating back this way to help out once more. Yeah. And actually, back to the topic of a Call to Arms Halo mod, I believe there is another one, too, that, like, Bill Nye has access to and stuff like that. And I asked him for it, but he said his friend like he makes all these mods, but then he doesn't release them to the public ever, which is so weird to me. Like, wouldn't you want to make mods to like share with other people and like, you know, let other people have fun with them? I'm not sure, but yeah. So apparently there might be 2 Call to Arms mods out there that focus on Halo that are just not available to the greater public, which is kind of sad. You know, I'd love to play those and I'd love to get my hands on them. Oops, I accidentally bumped the mic there. So let me know if you guys have any connections to any of these mods or whatever. I would love to get my hands on them and do some content for you guys. That would be that'd be super dope. Either way, the UNSC Marine defenses here are crumbling a little bit. I'm seeing some more losses mounting, though they are still getting a good amount of fire out, so that's always kind of good to see. A few guys healing up real quick. Yeah, heal up, officer. Good call, good call. Excellent. Covenant losses are mounting themselves, actually. Elites up here have been in a bit of a bloodbath. The majority of the grunts over here are just sort of laying on their stomachs waiting. They're not really wanting to advance too far forward. A little bit more elites coming up over the top here, getting shot up. But they're at least getting some cover fire out. That's what we like to see. It is what we like to see. Humans over here still not really advancing forward. It seems like, okay, so there are like 1 or 2 Covenant troopers left alive in these rocks, but they're slowly getting killed by the free roaming Marines over here, and then the rest of the force is like entirely over here, and they are slowly getting killed. I honestly think at this point they might not manage to break through to the final Citadel. I think this might be their final stand here, and you know, the attack will fail. So maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna throw this out there, the retreaters back here ended up helping way more than I first anticipated, and they actually did contribute a lot to the battle by sort of drawing the fire away from the main lines, you know, because that stalling out just completely killed this Covenant army over here. And now the main Covenant army is not able to get a foothold because they don't have the support of the flankers, and they're fighting in this awful choke point. So I'm just saying, it's plausible that, you know, the people I called cowards actually did a tactical retreat, and a very pro-gamer move. They're just gamers, bro. I'm just a gamer, dude. Gamers. Sorry, I'm a little hyper this morning. I had an extra amount of bean juice today. Hydro Homie bean water. Oh, so delicious. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, and it is Valentine's Day, so I was like, I gotta hype up. Gotta hype myself up here, boys. And so I'm drinking extra bean juice and in an extra goofy mood, I suppose. Like an extra goofy movie. That movie was an absolute slap as a kid. Oh no, it was seriously Goofy movie, not an extra Goofy movie. That was it. Goofy's son. I think his name was Max, right? Is that Goofy's son's name? I can't remember now, honestly. UNSC Marines, you know, kind of leading up the hill here a little bit. This is kind of like Hamburger Hill, honestly. Like, straight up. Maybe I should do a second battle here where, like, we completely get rid of the front defenses over there. And maybe even the canyon defenses, and just have like this be a like Hamburger Hill area, and the Covenant completely surrounds the hill, and the UNSC Marines have to defend the hill by themselves. That could be kind of a cool concept. Maybe after we try out a few of the other Halo maps though first, because I don't want to use the same map like a bunch of times in a row and stuff like that. You know, I'd rather spice it up. There are only like 5 or 6 Halo maps though involved in this mod, so you know, we'll have to pick and choose. And then we can also do some standard Men of War maps as well with it. So, you know, not too big of a deal. Either way, I did see the Marines did kind of push forward a little bit here and started to you know, get a high ground advantage on the Covenant, who has squeezed themselves further and further into this corner. Maybe we'll see kind of what the Marines did to the Covenant come back to them, and the Covenant will do it to them. They'll draw out the rest of the Marines by hiding in a corner, kill them off, and then push forward. Maybe that'll happen. Might be a little far-fetched for the AI to manage to accomplish that, but, you know, you gotta believe, man. A couple of elites running forward, grunts supporting. Grunts are essentially useless. They're so weak. They get almost nothing done in the battle. They're basically just cannon fodder, so that way they die, and then the elites are the main firepower who, like, you know, thrives amidst the dead grunts. I think that's honestly kind of how the Covenant army works, but who knows? I'm not the biggest Halo, you know, lore knower, so I, you know, don't have a deep knowledge of the lore. The lore. Oh yeah, the Marines up here getting real gutsy now and pushing further and further forward. I mean, the Covenant still does have a few, maybe 100 troopers, I'd say. Let's actually start squatting them up. That's our rule on this channel now. If the battle starts to stagnate a little bit, we squat up the survivors and see if they do anything with that. Most often they don't, but, you know, it can sometimes give the edge a little bit, I suppose. You know, might as well do it. Might as well do it. It's basically just these few Marines over here versus, you know, ever-shrinking Covenant. The Marines just have them in an absolute chokehold at this point. Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would break through the lines here, in all honesty, because I think it would be really interesting to see the final sort of Citadel assault, but I don't know, maybe we'll have to save that for our Hamburger Hill battle. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if you think the Hamburger Hill battle would be interesting to watch. Could be kind of fun, I don't know. Oh, that elite went down pretty hardcore right there. Their plasma rifles not working out too well. What are you shooting? Oh, this Marine over here. Okay, I thought he was shooting the dead body of a grunt. I was like, it's a little vulgar. Come on, man. Have some respect for your dead comrades. I know they're lesser than you, but, you know, they died for your cause, bro. There are a lot of elites still alive, so yeah, that's maybe the one saving grace of this situation, is that, you know, there are elites and there are jackals alive, so that means maybe they could do a breakthrough, because if it was just grunts, they'd be done, but, you know, having these higher powered units is maybe a little bit better. It's getting a little bit quiet on the Western Front right now. Actually, this would be, let's see, this would be the Western Front. This is the Southern Front, this is the Northern, and this is the Eastern. So I'm completely wrong, but, you know, my nice little book reference, I suppose. That book is dark, man. I've read it twice now, once for a World War I class, and then another time for high school. Every time I read it, I'm like, wow, I don't want to go to war. You ever have someone who's just like super into war and all about it and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go fight and stuff like that? Just have them read All Quiet in the Western Front and they'll be like, oh, this is depressing. This sounds terrible. Bad time, didn't clap, man. Not poggers. Not poggers, bro. Not a pog champ. No pog champs in chat, boys. No pog champs in chat. As you can see, I've become ingrained in Twitch culture. I am not. I'm a terrible Twitch streamer. But if you want to follow me, Daily Tactics on Twitch. I'm honestly having a pretty good time streaming on Twitch. I've just been getting really into it, I think. We finally made a Twitch affiliate, which is kind of cool. So we unlocked a bunch of features on the channel, like channel points and subs and you know, bits and whatnot. So that's kind of a cool, you know, advancement for the Daily Tactics Twitch. But we've been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov over there. That game is so fun. Like, straight up, that game is an absolute slap. I've been having such a good time in it. Such a good time. Been very, very into it. Either way, I mean, this last stand is still going. Alright, I think, okay, we're gonna go in slow-mo. This is getting a little boring watching these guys fight in the same area, so we're gonna have them do sort of a final charge. The Covenant, it's make it or break it time, baby. Make it or break it. Everyone's going in. We're sending y'all in right now. And we'll see if they manage to make anything of themselves or if they will die trying. They very well might die trying. Actually, in all likelihood, they're gonna die trying. But here we go. A bit of a charge going in, watching it in slow-mo. Grunts going down, but you know, the Jackals and the Elites are managing to get a little bit of fire off before they go down, so you know, there's the possibility they end up getting a few more kills here. UNSC Marines are doing their best to keep firing and keep on taking these fellas out, and it seems like they're doing pretty well in it. I mean, this sort of last-ditch charge it was just that. It was the last-ditch charge. I don't think once the Covenant really lost the majority of their force over here, there was no way they were going to win. In fact, a few UNSC Marines actually charging forward to counterattack. One guy makes the mistake of going a little too far forward and gets noggined right there. His friend backs up and hides behind a rock real quick right there. Yeah, I mean, the last few Covenant soldiers here getting pretty decimated. We'll go back into normal speed. This was tough. This was a tough battle for these fellas. Alright, you guys, last few charge. Come on. Everyone else did it. You got to do it too. 3 elites are left. 1 with an energy sword. He dies. Oh my god, the Marines are just like going full in, and they take him out too. That shotgunner. Really well done. Holy cow. Okay. So the UNSC Marines defended way better than I thought they ever would, like substantially better. These guys were absolute beasts. So if we look at the losses here, yellow are dead Marines, and they did take a lot of losses throughout the entirety of the battle. I mean, a few hundred Marines died, I'd say, but you know, like 1,000 Covenant soldiers ended up dying during this battle. So they definitely made out better than the Covenant did. You know, there's a few bloody, pulpy messes around here of dead Marines, which is brutal, as you can see right here. There was definitely some severe losses, but they held it together, man, and they ended up winning the day. Like these guys were seriously good. You can't see the stats of the number of kills they got because the mods glitched in that regard. Very sad, but you know, I'm imagining most guys have 5 or 6 kills apiece. Probably. And I think the war of attrition helped a lot too. I mean, the Covenant, like, they lost a lot of soldiers at the beginning. They lost some over here. They lost some over here. They lost some over here. Like, they were just losing left and right. And if they had maybe stuck together as a team instead of going off to fight these random Marines over here, then I think they might have honestly won the day. There aren't too many Marines left, too, and they were outnumbered by a lot, so this was an impressive defense. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. If you did, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.